mantle for the Lions at the moment. And he goes toe-to-toe with Peter Everett. Saturday afternoon footy from the MCG. And Everett the first tap, but Power the first chance to get a clean possession. Couldn't do so. Everett gets the 360 treatment from Copeland. And we're ready for a bounce.
And I just like the way Hawthorn lined up. They pushed Franklin to the goal square, which forced Mel Michael to go to him. Barker had Leppage.
Tim Clark is tagging Chris Johnson. We'll see that in a moment. So lots of attention going to be on Chris Johnson coming off half-back. As again, Everett getting hands to it. Mitchell may have been infringed. And he's going to win the free kick for the Hawks in the middle. Copped a bit of a blow last week, but managed to play out the game. So hopefully he's close to full fitness. Campbell Brown's in good form at the moment. And the Hawks through Williams might get a chance. McGrath, who also had a bit of an injury problem involved there. And the ball taken over the line by McDonald. So we'll get a chance to see this Hawk forward line in action at the moment. Everett coming in to do the ruck work. Barker and Williams have gone back to the square. Roughead and Franklin as well. So the Hawks trying to leave plenty of space at centre-half forward away to the right here from this contest. As we see Crawford keeping it in. Bateman. And the umpire says throw it in.
And just the way the Hawthorn forward line is structured at the moment, Clarkson is actually hoping to bring Leppage back towards the goal square and making Mel Michael come up to centre-half forward and make him be the playmaker, or make him mind Barker, who's going to be the running type player at centre-half forward.
Everett got it down, but taken by Black back in the side this afternoon. And he finds the boundary line on centre wing. Trent Crode playing at centre-half backs, done pretty well. Jaden Athard in amongst that, number 34 for the Lions. But a boundary throw in. Everett's done well early. This time it favours Charm, and he slaps it forward. Chance for Bateman. He's well tackled by Corey, and will get a bounce just forward of the wing for the Lions. Early stages of this big match at the MCG. Brisbane have beaten Hawthorn the last 6 times they've played by an average of 39 points. Everett again. Mitchell a chance. Well done. Tackled by Black. Held him up. Crawford. Now Bateman. He was over the line when he kicked it. So we'll get another boundary throw in. So a quiet start to this match. Neither team threatening in the opening minute and a half to score. And Peter Everett. Big job to try and give his midfield some opportunity today. Give them first use of the football. Works his way to the front. Mitchell hard at the football. Spills out to Black, who's been a couple of early touches. Barker overruns it. Going in Beaumont. Nacamanis also at the base of the pack. Eventually they try and break through. Vandenberg got it to Mitchell, but he's held up. He's going to get a free kick, in fact, Sam Mitchell. And umpire Ellis just breaking the play up. And he gives off to Beaumont, who kicks to half-forward. Crawford in space. Thought about giving it to Miller. Turns, delivers long to the goal square. Everett going back, lets it go. First blood to the Hawks. And Shane Crawford getting involved early. A great goal from just outside 50. And they moved it pretty well, Steve.
Well, they did. And the beauty of this was that Shane Crawford got back, just turned onto his right foot and went deep to the goal square. Unfortunately, the ball went over the top of heads, but we just saw there on screen the Spider Everett. That is going to be a set play. They're going to go long into the goal square, put these Brisbane defenders under pressure.
Brisbane not getting a sniff so far. They've only had 1 possession in the opening 3.5 minutes. The Hawks have had 9, 3 each to Mitchell and Crawford, and Everett in amongst it as well. There they are combining. Mitchell's delivery, good for Barker, who's playing that lead up centre-half forward. Back to Mitchell again. Can he hit another target? Oh, yes, he can. He just couldn't complete the mark, Williams. Big opportunity wasted. It may not be yet, though. He recovered. Okay, but just couldn't find his man. And Mitchell goes in hard. He is creating plenty of havoc at the moment in that battle with Black. Power able to release McDonald at the back. But the ball not out of danger yet. Vandenberg wrapped off in a very good Jason Ackermanis tackle. And we've got a bounce well inside the 50 for the Hawks.
And I reckon Alistair Clarkson's got this forward line set up right at the moment. Mel Michael, Franklin, he's running him up the ground. Barker, he's running Lepage out up the ground as well, and also deep of the goal square.
Harry Miller, the unlikely ruckman, but Hodge off the wrong foot. Had to try and create. And McGrath initially happy to let it go out. Then he thought, maybe I can keep it in.
One thing about Johnny Barker, Chriso, is that he's a very good athlete, great endurance. He will try and tire Justin Lepage out.
Yes, he just will keep presenting all day. Very good player at his best, John Barker. So a boundary throw in. Hawks deep into attack. They've already got an early goal. They could sneak another one here. It'd be great for their confidence. Everett takes it out. He snaps out of the pack and just offline. Always dangerous taking it out of the ruck, of course, but he was able to get boot the ball pretty quickly. Just couldn't pull it back far enough. So the Hawks lead it by 7 points.
Brisbane have got the huddle going.
At the moment, they are not being given an inch by the Hawks. They're being very disciplined. As Johnson kicks in, it's a well-placed kick. And Black takes the mark. But at the moment, no movement really for the Lions. As I mentioned, they've been so tight, the Hawks. Black's going to be called on here and forced just to wait the kick along the line. He was patient, and his patience rewarded. Selwood, who's playing just his 4th game. Of course, his twin brother Adam has racked up 7 games with the West Coast Eagles, both drafted from Bendigo in the same year. Big lead from White at the back. Nothing doing at the moment for the Lions, though. It's all hard work. Ackermanis and now Black to Hawthorn. Little shove on Sherman. And good combination from the Hawks, and Brown takes the mark, and they can run as they try and break, but nothing clear at the moment. Beaumont's got some work to do here. Lions applying some pressure back. Franklin, look how easily he did that.
Off to Crawford. Now a chance for the Hawks. Sweeps the handball towards Mitchell. Quick little give was okay. Franklin with a bit of dash. Now he's got a real problem. Somehow he gets out of it. Concedes ground with a handball to Brown. Lewis, Law, Crawford, Brown. Handball missed the mark. Chance for Hay. Confronted by Bradshaw. And his handball intended out wide for Clark. Missed the mark. But great pressure from the Brisbane Lions, Steve. But the Hawks, they didn't panic. And there's the high tackle on Mitchell.
Well, they had the numbers there to cover their mistakes.
It's great to see Lance Franklin try and take them on. Unfortunately, he just tried to do a little bit too much. Charman gets it down. Black's been very good early. Power. Brown keeps the front position. Corrie trying to wrestle the mark from him. Now, what's the umpire going to do here? Was there a genuine attempt to get rid of it? No, but he says, give it to me. Certainly interpretation of that holding the ball has softened over, certainly since the Wizard Cup. Charman, little back tap was okay to Black. Mitchell trying to get the hands free. Crawford looked for Bateman, missed the mark. Now Black, oh, poor kick. Taken by Brown here to play on immediately. Not 15. Vanderberg working in a confined space, did it pretty well, and finds Franklin right on the boundary line on centre wing.
And he's already getting into the game, which is exciting the Hawk fans. Dangerous kick, though. The Mel Michael fist. Crowd. Mitchell, who's getting tons of it at the moment. No clean possession there. And it's well played by Power, and then Sherman and White. And some space to work in here for Bradshaw.
Player down in the midfield.
Selwood hasn't moved, Chriso.
Let's have a look at what happened.
Whoa. It's cocked the shoulder of Trent Crode.
No, I wouldn't think there's any troubles there for Trent Crone. He was the man with the ball. But there's plenty of troubles for Selwood. Meantime, Bradshaw to kick one that the Lions would dearly love at this very early stage. Makes very good contact, and the Lions have got one back. So Selwood comes from the ground, and the Lions, against the flow of play, really, have put one on the board.
Yes, and it's the first time they've gone inside their forward 50, and this is a major matchup, this. We see Jonathan Hay on Bradshaw. Bradshaw has been their major goal kicker this year, and you'd think if the Hawks to win this game, Jonathan Hay needs a big game on Bradshaw.
So Brisbane on the board at the MCG. Superb kick from Daniel Bradshaw. His first, obviously, of the afternoon. He's 11th for the season. Charman and Everett. Everett again decisively towards Crawford. Couldn't handle it. Now a chance for Sherman. Handball ineffective. Taken by Vandenberg. He bangs inside. Attacking 50. Williams gets there. He takes it. No, he's called play on. Play on's the call. He tries to wrestle clear. Now a chance at ground level. The Hawks fighting through Vandenberg, who delivered it inside attacking 50. And some of the Hawthorn fans not happy with that decision, nor is their captain. We'll have a look at it in a moment. It looked to me as though he almost held on Mark Williams. Won this time by Charman. Sherman, a solidly built 18-year-old. Black gave it up to Vandenberg. Now Bateman. Can he find a target inside attacking 50? He can this time. And Mark Williams, who's put himself in a position to take the footy on a couple of different occasions, has a chance here from 20 metres.
Yes, and the reason that's the mark that wasn't paid. Looked like he may have dropped it at the last minute. But the setup of the Hawthorn forwards, when there's a stoppage, a number of the Hawthorn forwards actually push back to the goal square, which leaves the gap between the stoppage and the goal square. So Williams was able to find a bit of space.
Hawthorn's leading goal kicker this year. This is his 50th AFL goal, and he pops it through, and the Hawks lead it by 7. So Mark Williams turned 22 last Wednesday, and it's his 50th goal in his short AFL career.
And that's the space in front he had. We saw Chrissy Johnson just dropping back into that space, but the Hawthorn forward line is working very well. They're working well for each other, and there's been a lot of sacrifice in that forward line.
Simon Black and Luke Power doing the bulk of the work for the Lions at the moment. They've had 9 out of their total of just 17 possessions. And this is a very interesting match early. And Crode and some of the other big names like Everett giving the Hawks some run, some dash and a chance. They've got the lively Williams up forward. Hodge came in to try and lend a hand. Good credit there to McGrath, who battled on beautifully and got the Lions onto the wing, where Pike ready to bounce up and do some business with a couple of bounces. Now he's got some issues. Crawford, great defensive pressure. And he may just be in trouble there. He jumped on it. Was it in the back? Was it holding the ball? It was neither, said the umpire, and we're going to get a bounce.
Probably lucky to get away with it.
Is it my imagination? I noticed last night's game, the opening game of round 4, there was a few dubious in the backs not paid as well. We've had 2 or 3 already this afternoon that have looked as though they're free kicks but haven't eventuated.
Quickly to Andrew Marr.
No breaks, Hutto, just a really heavy knock to the head and concussion for Troy Selwood.
Corey's got it at half forward. Great tackle from Bateman. Made some ground, and Crow does the right thing, milks it over the line. A boundary throw in inside attacking 50. Justin Bradshaw just letting Crow know about it. Trent not too interested. So the Brisbane Lions in their attacking zone. Charman again to do battle with Everett. Charman works to the front there. What's he going to do here? He's plucked out a free kick to Everett.
I think it might be going to Crawford. I was watching that off the ball. There's a bit of a 4-way tangle with players trying to get on their men, and Crawford was being held onto by Ackermanis.
Well, I'm glad, because there certainly wasn't a ruck infringement as Crawford kicks to Everett. Now he's got Lewis running for him, and eventually he honours that lead. And Jordan Lewis dropped the mark. He's got support. Vandenberg, and just backward of the wing, looking, searching for Beaumont, and finds him.
Scott Barker free if he gets up.
And Notting was able to get back on Barker. That's what confronts Beaumont as he decides to kick across the ground. It's okay. Mark taken by Everett. They transfer play into the centre corridor. Crode. Handball over the top to Hay. They're building Hawthorn. At least they're trying to do something. They're trying to create some run, and he kicks towards Everett, towards Lewis, who kicks brilliantly to Williams. And again, they worked it out pretty well, taking some chances, Steve, but at least they're trying to get the ball moving.
Well, they are. What they're doing at the moment at Hawthorn, they're isolating Williams out of the goal square. They're getting Lepage and also Mel Michael up the ground. So their focal point is Williams.
We watch it again. Great kick coming in from Jordan Lewis. And Mark Williams providing some problems for McGrath at the moment. From 30 metres, he comes in. Look at that, dead centre. So great start here at the MCG. The Hawks, they lead 3-1 to 1 goal.
Yes, and they're winning the footy. They're getting enough of the ball inside their forward 50 to give their forwards a chance. This man here's got to have a big day today if the Hawks are going to win. The great thing about that, they brought the ball back in towards the corridor, which gave them every option to find a forward target.
Well, the last quarter and a half, Brisbane have been outscored 10 goals to 2. Remember, the Swans came with a rush to win last week's game. They're on the back foot here, the Lions. It's only early, but Mitchell is again trying to get the Hawks going. Maybe a free there to Copeland, not paid. Lots of numbers around the ball. Mel Michael and Lepich and so forth just haven't been able to get their hands on the ball. They're normal defenders that provide them so much run. Johnson, another one who hasn't had a possession yet. Ackerman is getting work to do, but Dixon and the Hawks through Brown able to hold things up. Bateman bangs it onto the wing. Roughhead playing in front of McDonald, and the ball over and out. You can hear the Hawthorn crowd starting to get involved.
Well, so they should be. They're winning the footy, and they've had plenty of the footy at the moment. Disposals, Hawthorn 54 to the Brisbane Lions 24.
Everett over the top. McLaren in front. He's on the ground now. Just changed the mix. Mitchell is just dominating out of the middle. And the Hawks, again, Lewis and Barker involved. This is Beaumont. His delivery pretty good for Williams. McGrath with a desperate lunge. The pressure is building. He goes to ground, Williams. Was he given a free? He was. He is dominating up forward at the moment. He's got 2 to his credit. Off to Bateman. Long to the square. Johnson in good shape. And he saves the day. His first meaningful touch.
Gee, I reckon Tim Clark had to make a contest there. Just allowed Johnson to mark uncontested. And after some good work up the ground by the Hawks. Chips it short. Mark taken by Michael, who delivers out wide. Black, who's been prominent early. Coming in for possession number 7 already. Simon Black, of course, missing the opening 3 rounds from suspension in last year's grand final. Kicks under pressure in the end. At the back, Everett tried to mark it over the top of McLaren. Picked up by Pike. Hoisted high towards half forward. Sherman getting across. Well done by Scott. Sherman kicks it deep into the pocket. It's a vacant forward 50 for the Brisbane Lions, but it was offline, so a boundary throw in deep in their left forward pocket.
Fairly good result, that. They've struggled to hold the ball inside their forward 50, Brisbane. They can set up now and at least put these Hawthorn defenders under a bit of pressure.
Just saw the last 6 clangers by the Brisbane Lions. Everett. In fact, it's Taylor on the ground. Well done by Mitchell. They get it clear. Now a chance as they clear, this time through Crow. They work it out of their defence pretty well. Taylor again involved. Lewis. Under pressure now, Franklin. And it's a free kick being plucked out here. Which way will it go? It'll go Hawks' way. Come back to Jordan Lewis, has been involved early. Chips into the corridor. Mitchell. Good running by Vandenberg. Although Mitchell ignores that. Kicks further across the ground. Mark taken by Miller. Chips to Barker, who is presenting. Back to Miller. Kick towards Crawford on the burst. They're looking impressive, the Hawks. It's good stuff. He hands off to Hodge from outside 50. He loads up and kicks a beauty. Oh, this is great stuff, and Luke Hodge celebrates for the crowd. And they worked it superbly, Steve, from their back pocket. Switched the play. Great run. And a great finish from Luke Hodge.
Well, it's been the highlight, really, in this first quarter for the Hawks. It's just been their sacrifice for each other, their commitment for each other, and things are happening. They've got a game plan, and they're sticking to it.
Yes, Alistair Clarkson has done his homework, Sauce, today.
Well, he has. Now Spider Everett's come to the forward line, so they're really unsettling this Brisbane back line at the moment.
Williams still playing out of the square. He's kicked 2 goals. Taylor in the ruck, mistimed the leap. McLaren just had to handle it of his space. They've got to do something about Mitchell. He is killing them out of the middle. Here goes Crode. Flying handball tough for Miller, overwhelmed by numbers, or was he? He still fights on. Big Taylor throwing his body around. Sherman coming through. Crawford with a handball. Barker, who's been great on left pitch so far. This is power. Bodies going left, right and centre. This is great stuff in the middle of the MCG. Hawks appealing left, right and centre. The umpire calls for a
Well,
bounce.
no, the umpires, the second umpires come in and said it's over the shoulder. I tell you what, had he seen earlier, that was dead set holding the ball.
Well, now they're going to control it through half forward. Brad Scott after the early work by Ackermanis. Corey's pass is perfect. And once again, Bradshaw coming out of the square into the space, accepts the pass gleefully, and will go back to have a shot for his second goal.
Such a powerful athlete, Bradshaw. Very, very quick off the mark. Jonathan Hay, as I said earlier, got a massive job, but if he can stop this man, they're a very good chance.
Only been inside 50 4 times so far. The Brisbane Lions on the back foot, and Bradshaw is keeping them in it. 2 kicks at goal, 2 majors for Daniel Bradshaw.
This is the tackle. This was a great tackle. Have a look at this. Does he dispose of it correctly? I don't think so.
No, they were a bit lucky there, Brisbane. And what they were able to do was deliver it very, very cleverly, and good kick from Corey coming straight to Bradshaw. And they've made the most of the opportunities. They lead inside 50, Hawks 10-4. So, great start by Hawthorn, but a couple of goals. There's Simon Black limping. That'll be a blow to the Brisbane Lions, already missing Voss and Lappin out of their midfield this afternoon.
And Lee Matthews has made a move. Williams for the Hawks has been in fantastic touch. Scott has had to go back on him.
Power out of the centre. Hacks it forward. Oh, well done. White marks in front of Beaumont. Protected the ball very well, did Darryl White. And, well, you count that as an inside 50. They've gone inside 50 now 5 times, the Lions, compared to 10 for the Hawks.
It's a big concession early, isn't it, to have to make that move at full forward sauce from Lee Matthews. He had to do it, I guess.
Well, he had to. And I'm just looking at Scott. He's working Williams over.
White from outside 50. Oh, it's a great kick, but in the goal square. Big spider.
And if we get back to that matchup, Hutto, Williams just has to keep his head. He doesn't want to get caught up in a bumping or wrestling contest.
We'll be watching it carefully. It's just down in front of our commentary box, the other end to right at the top of the screen it is. We're watching now at the moment Everett, and getting it in nice and short as their defence trying to just work the ball out. They're being held up now. Taylor's forced to kick long to the wing, and it wasn't a great option. The height was with the Lions as well as the numbers. Mel Michael, he launches for full forward. Plenty of Hawk jumpers down there. They all fly at once. And who stayed down? All the Lions players. McLaren to Corey. Goal! The old mantra, one up, one down, wasn't applied. All the Hawks pretty much went up.
No, it wasn't. And this is one thing about Brisbane. They kick to the hot spot, and they are very good crummers. And they had plenty there as well. And there is Williams. Scott has been moved on to him. He does not need to get into a wrestling contest with Brad Scott. He must keep his head, keep moving him up the ground. His speed is his asset.
Lions have had the last 3 inside 50s, this time decisively from Everett to Crawford. In front, Clark is marked. So he's playing a defensive type role on Chris Johnson, but anticipated. Now he gets a lead, he kicks into the pocket, and Williams marked in front of Chris Scott. And that's good play from Mark Williams.
Well, it was. He led one way, doubled back, and he found the space. It was a very, very good kick.
And they all run to young Tim Clark too. We know he's had his kicking problems over the years. Kicked a great goal last week, and there he is delivering to Williams. Plenty going on here. Just a bit of pushing and shoving.
Lions trying to just...
I guess it's in the middle of it.
Well, here comes Williams from 40 metres. It's across the face. It's coming back and hits the post. 3 marks inside 50 for Mark Williams, and that would have just been the tonic Hawthorn needed after the Lions had kicked the last couple, but it wasn't to be.
One concern at the moment is that Hawthorn have been absolutely dominant with 84 possessions to Brisbane 43, and they're only 8 points up.
They've been pretty efficient, the Lions, when they've gone forward. They can't get it cleanly, and this time though, Crowe, Miller. Now, there was a whistle here. I think the downfield handball paid. It's going to come back.
A bit going on too off the ball.
No, right.
Brad Scott and Sam Mitchell involved there.
Lewis takes the kick and gets it down to Franklin. McDonald got a bit of a shove. Play on was the call. Lions keep it alive along the wing. Adcock initially with a handball, then Black's kick straight into the grasp of Trent Crowe, who goes to Miller, who's been busy around the wing area, led well up the ground, and he's been good. Switches to Mitchell, who's coming in for his 13th possession. Crawford's had 10 as well. So the leaders in the midfield for Hawthorn getting plenty of it. They've come across a bit of a wall here, though. And Mitchell forced to kick quickly this time to Crawford. Again, the handball not great. Clark, a bit of a wild old one. Scott, Bragg, able to take it and give it to Johnson. Can they release him? No, he went to ground. Got the handball through nicely done to Pike. Power. There's no one to go to. Absolutely no one. And strangely, even with the vision of Luke Power, he kicked it straight into a nest of Hawks, and they're able to get away cleanly now through Crowe and Beaumont. It's a transitional running at the moment by both sides. Crawford takes it to try and break a line and delivers well. Barker back to Crawford, trying to inspire them. Long kick, Williams got a few to beat this time. Bradshaw doing it at both ends of the ground. Gets it out to Brad Scott. He looks up and he's got McLaren to hit on the wing. So the Lions, they're trying to counter-attack in the last 2 minutes. He's got Adcock on over the top. Here they go.
Adcock's got her on the southern wing. Delivers towards half forward. Corey's got it now. Black's free if he wants to use him.
Got no full forward because Bradshaw's still at centre-half back.
He kicks back to Adcock, who's been called to play on. Now he's got a problem. Pike puts him under the pump. They turn it over. Great stuff. Great pressure from Hawthorn. Barker from back of the wing. Clark's got to go here. He's got to beat a couple. He made a contest. Well done, Tim Clark. Johnson will pick it up, Willie, just inside the line. Franklin slips the tackle.
Got great strength, Johnson.
Kept his head to Lepage. And eventually McDonald gets it to Pike. Great contest. Well done, Osborne. Here they go again, the Hawks. Chance for Franklin. They got it from Rees. Crawford's been outstanding in the opening quarter. Everett. Good pressure, though, from the Brisbane Lions. The Everett handball astray. Copeland, Black, chip it short. Corey's got it. 55 from goal.
Just needs to hold it up, Corey. They need to get some forwards inside their forward 50, Brisbane.
Corey kicks it deep into the pocket. Darryl White in good position. Breaks. That's a great mark. Great screen.
They'll be disappointed, won't they, with that, Hawthorn, because they had about 5 numbers around him. Well played, Darryl White.
Well, it was a great mark, but the Hawthorn players that were sitting off needed to be able to read that. It's okay to get back and fill the space, but you also got to read the ball coming in and help the defenders out.
Well, the Hawks have absolutely dominated this opening quarter with all the stats, but this, and they'll lead by just 2 points as we tick down to quarter time. Off a couple of steps, Darryl White threads it through the eye of a needle. So Darryl White, there's the mark. Crowe and Beaumont applying the pressure, but it was a great mark, and what a kick from deep in the pocket. And we're a second or so away from quarter time, and all the reward for effort, Steve. They haven't been able to get it, Hawthorn. They've dominated everywhere, just haven't been able to get the score on the scoreboard.
So Sam Mitchell and Shane Crawford have had amazing 14 possessions each. They're going to go into quarter time with scores virtually level. Sauce, 2 points the difference. How do you assess it?
Well, obviously Lee Matthews, we see there on screen, would be reasonably happy that they fought back in that quarter, but it was all Hawthorn early. They dominated their possessions, 106 to 64. They've got off to a good start, but just so important that they keep their wits about them. And they're playing some tremendous footy up forward. They're keeping it open. They've been able to find their targets.
I tell you what,
there's
a bit of tension still. Sorry to interrupt there, Sauce, but as the players come off, nothing serious, but they've just got to watch this, the umpires. Look at Justin Lepage in amongst it all.
Well, they're going to get tested by Brisbane. Don't worry about that. They know they're struggling, Brisbane, and they're going to try and bully these younger Hawthorn players.
But they've only got a 2-point lead to show for it at the moment. All right, quarter time, and the whiteboards, I reckon, will be working overboard for both coaches. Here's our whiteboard, the Primus Telecom whiteboard, and the forward line of the Hawks, Sauce.
Yes, and I think he's got it right, Alistair Clarkson. What he's got is he's got Johnny Barker bringing Lepage up the ground, but also young Taylor as well, bringing Mel Michael up the ground. So he's got their two key defenders pushed up the ground. Brisbane love having Mel Michael at full-back, Lepage at centre-half back. We see Franklin at full forward. He's bringing young McDonald up the ground also, and they're isolating Williams and Scott out of the goal square.
And that's been the matchup, as that was the one he had to change, wasn't it, midway through the quarter, because Williams had kicked 2 goals
on McGrath. That's right, and Williams has had an outstanding first quarter. What he's got to do, he's got to move Scott around the ground. He's got to keep moving. Don't get into a wrestling type duel with him. Use his speed, use his agility.
Yeah, the other point there, the other forward pocket, wasn't it Clark who's playing that negative role on Chris Johnson? We've seen he'd be so damaging from defence in previous years. All right, terrific stuff. Let's get down to Andrew Marr.
Yeah, Hutto, Troy Sell was obviously the big concern at quarter time. He does look fresh. He looked like he was about to come back on just before the quarter time siren sounded, which is remarkable given the condition he was in when he came off. Simon Black and Jamie Sharman both had a bit of work done to various legs. Well, Black on the right leg and Sharman on the left. They're both ready to go. No problems at all in the Hawthorn camp.
Various legs. Thanks for that, Andrew. Yes, Sauce?
Yes, a move's been made. Bradshaw has come up to centre-half forward. Brisbane have been falling across that half-forward line. Bradshaw moved from full forward to centre-half forward.
Underway in the second term. Vandenberg, who fought very hard for his team in that opening quarter, diving on a Charman. And what's the umpire going to do here? He's going to call for it and bounce it.
You can see Vandenberg, he's got such a physical approach. I mean, we know he always has, but maybe even since he's been captain, he's trying to lead it with even more inspiration.
Which is great. You know, he's taken the role on board, and that's why he's probably been made captain.
Everett gets it out this time. Miller, very good in the opening quarter. Harry Miller, high towards half-forward. Clark almost. Was he held by Johnson? No, says the umpire. Well done, Johnson. He forced him off the football, allowed Michael to come through. Now McDonald sweeps the handball to Charman at half-back. Brisbane an opportunity here as Charman kicks long towards half-forward. Bradshaw in good position. He was pushed out by Crow. No free kick. Crone's got time to deliver out wide, but coming in, Corrie couldn't quite handle it. Miller, and he chipped short. Mark taken by Barker. The overlap provided by Hodgie, drills it short. Can't miss those boots. Shane Crawford. Now a chance for Roughhead. Back to Miller. They're in trouble now, the Hawks. Oh, Miller somehow worked his way through the pack. He kicks towards full forward in the way. Charman. And he marks deep in his defensive zone.
He's got a couple of options. One of them, Mel Michael, who's just starting to get the feel of the footy. Out onto the wing where Notting is stalking along, waiting, and now what's he going to do with it? He has to go long. He tried to, and straight into the solar plexus of Richard Vandenberg, who had the hands up for the smother.
And you just sense there, that's where Brisbane are breaking down. No Jonathan Brown, who presents so well at centre-half forward. They have a lack of numbers presenting across that half-forward line.
Yeah, Bradshaw being forced to play as a centre-half forward with Pike and White, the old men, back in the goal square. Tight one here at centre-half forward for the Hawks. Clark didn't quite get the effect he would have liked with a releasing handball. Rees into the space. It's a tough one to handle. Here's Franklin. Gets it right back to Barker. The stare on Lepage, the sidestep, and the long bomb. Just offline. But the Hawks continuing on with the purpose they showed in the opening quarter.
Brisbane kicked the last 3 goals of the first quarter to get it back to 2 points. We've seen a goal in this second term. Good kick coming in from Scott. Mark taken by Lepage. Now Charman's free close to the wing, but Lepage too busy arguing with the umpire about where the man on the mark is, so he missed that opportunity. Now he decides to switch play. Michael's made position. in front of Williams. He can play on, chip it out wide. Black running hard. Great return from Simon Black, coming in for possession number 11, early stages, second term. Just wanting something to happen. There's the lead from Bradshaw. That's ignored, so he goes back to Michael. Chips it short. This time Bradshaw on the end of it.
Yeah, Crowe's just got to stick with Bradshaw. Can't afford to drop off him.
Gee, it's pretty stop-start at the moment from the Lions. So well done by Hodge. He sensed the kick was headed in Brad Scott's direction. He ran really hard to get there, make the contest and force a boundary throw-in. So great pressure from the Hawthorn players, playing one-on-one accountable football. And we've got a boundary throw-in just the attacking side of the wing for the Lions. Everett and Charman. Ball short, Crawford. Bateman comes up the meter hard. That's great stuff. And it typifies what Hawthorn have been about today. And we'll get a ball up just forward to the wing for the Lions.
Here's the bench. Selwood, of course, the man down. Charman trying to reach over the top of Everett. Nowhere to go for Vandenberg, but he found Miller off the Bateman. That was slick stuff from the Hawks. Off half back, and Clark doing a good job leading up on Johnson, providing a path to the forward line in front of Bateman. That was tough. Here's Mel Michael using all his guile, and he goes to the middle to Lepic, who'll be a target on the way out. Tried to draw Roughhead and get it over the top. Bit of run from McDonald. Sloppy kick. Tough to be a forward with that sort of delivery. Beaumont stands up in the tackle from Sherman. Over the top, great desperation from all concerned. White dumped like a rag doll, and he's been penalised. Lewis, a reward for work. Out to Barker. And now Beaumont. Time to tread some water. He needed a second range of forwards to aim at, and they didn't come in time. And Lepic, who's just started to take a few marks and get a few kicks after being very quiet in the opening term.
Yeah, and you just wonder if it's going through Lee Matthews' mind at the moment. Is it time to put Justin Lepic to centre-half forward?
Michael delivers short. Ackermanis backward to the centre, gets on with it quickly as he always does. Crode going back, good mark. Read it best. And he's got Miller out wide, has to sit and wait. Oh, and missed an easy mark. Now a chance for Adcock. The Lions a big opportunity here as he kicks towards Pike. One out with Hay. Pike, chance from 20 metres, runs in and kicks. Up behind, cannoned it into the post. So an opportunity missed there by the veteran, the four-time premiership player Martin Pike.
It's interesting you say that about Lepic, Sauce, because on one hand the Brisbane defence just looks like it's starting to get going, doesn't it? But on the other hand, they haven't got a target at centre-half forward.
That's right, and we talked about Lepic, but also Michael starting to get a number of possession as well.
Hodge punches it almost to the centre circle. You saw Charman get fingernails to it. Bradshaw, Johnson and Clark. Everywhere Johnson goes, Clark be sure to follow. Bateman delivers into the pocket. And again, it's Williams on a sharp lead. And leaving Chris Scott in his wake. Scott gives a shove to Bateman, showing the frustration. The Hawks to try and extend the lead here.
Well, it's his fourth mark inside 50 for the match. And that's what he's got to keep doing. Presenting. Scott is not getting any quicker.
Gee, it was a great kick in from Hodge. Dangerous to go down the middle of the ground, but they got numbers to the contest and were able to force it forward. So very, very good play by the Hawks. A very positive play there, embarking on it at the present time.
He's coming in for his 8th goal for the year from 4 matches. Mark Williams puts it through.
Well, let's have a look at this kick in from Hodge. It's long and direct, and Everett making the contest, but you can see the Hawthorn players providing the pressure.
Great tackle, wasn't it?
It was, and Vandenberg, the quick give, and a superb delivery from Bateman to Williams. And it can be dangerous going down the centre, but the way the Hawks did it there, they got numbers to the contest, and it's come off. So Mark Williams has kicked 3. John Barker takes the spell. And this has been a very impressive opening quarter and a bit by the Hawthorn Football Club. Wolf Ladson coming in hard on Black. He's given away the free kick. No. Chance for Hodge, conceding ground. Brown Now Mitchell, dominant in the opening quarter. Keeps his head, delivers out wide to his captain, Vandenberg. Chips to Bateman. Back to Vandenberg. Bateman again. Ladson's got to really go hard here. Then from the side, Chris Scott affects the spoil.
Now, at the other end of the ground, Williams has a new opponent. It's Mel Michael. What does Alistair Clarkson do now? Does he tell Williams to come up and play and try and get Lance Franklin out of full forward? We just have to wait and see.
Interesting, because last week Fletcher had the job in the end, didn't he, for Essendon on Williams, and Williams was able to lead up and take marks, so we'll see if he can do the same thing on Michael, who's had 4 marks for the quarter.
The thing about Mel Michael, he's very comfortable out of that goal square. Has good speed. He's going to be very, very strong to in a one-on-one contest, particularly against Williams.
There's the Hawthorn bench. Barker, Osmond, Taylor and Ben Dixon, of course, came into the side this afternoon for the injured Joel Smith, who had some hamstring tightness. Everett gets rid of Charman. Now he's in trouble to get the handball away in time. Yes, he did. Crawford intelligently to Vandenberg. Boundary line's too close. Game interestingly poised right here. Hawks by 8 points. They've certainly controlled things in general play. It's only for Brisbane's efficiency that they're within that margin. Mitchell taken high. Now the umpire went belatedly paid that free kick.
I mean, I hate to call it, but I don't even know that he saw it, the umpire.
Well,
it didn't look like he saw it.
No, I think you're right, Hutto. He looked back at the player on the ground and put whistle to mouth. It was high from Charman. Mitchell straight back up again. Coming in for possession number 17. We've played 9 minutes second term. Short, Miller will play on's the call, not 15. Hodge, authoritative play. Reese, back to Mitchell. Charman, that's a great tackle.
Great
Reese,
tackle.
run down by Adcock. Black, Hawthorn need to apply the pressure here. Lewis, he's tackled to the ground, gets rid of the football. Black, Adcock knocks it on. Free kick meanwhile, coming back to Simon Black, who was dealt with after he got rid of the football. So he has it at half-back. He chips out wide, and a chance here for the Lions. Sherman marks on the wing.
Nothing really to go to. He has to just go long. Crowd in best shape to take the mark, and it was uncontested, as you saw. Quick to move it on. Over Beaumont's head. They'll need a good bounce here. They've got time, Hay, or have they? He was strong of body, and he was confident of mind. As a result, Beaumont was able to get it comfortably. Through the middle they go. Now Crawford to run on from the give from Rees. He had to handball widely back to Rees in the end. Out in front of Ladson, who's come onto the ground, had a little bit of an impact, not so much in getting the ball, but in going in hard and competing, and delivers nicely to Clark, who dishes back to Franklin, who winds up with a left foot to a vacant goal square. Oh, it's great to watch him go. Oh, this is why we love the game, when you see a talent like that come on the scene and stand up straight away and show that he belongs.
Well, it's great usage by the Hawks, but Lance Franklin actually started his run from virtually the back pocket. He tracked the ball all the way up, was able to receive the handball, put the accelerator down, and then slot it through.
Well, the Hawks have continued the dominance in their second term. Disposals in the quarter, 49-23. And for the match, 155 to Hawthorn, just 88 to the Brisbane Lions. Margin, 14 points in Hawthorn. Looking pretty good. Everett again. Crawford slipped the handball somehow to Mitchell. Mitchell now inside attacking 50. Ladson over the back. Lepich has got to get back. Michael, well done, Ladson. Put a good tackle on the fullback. Now Adcock delivers back into the midfield, nodding. They've got run here. Ackermanis in space. There's one bounce and a second. Brown did very well under pressure. Works it to the line. In fact, unlucky in the end because he had a couple of players there, Miller and Bateman. But the Hawk fans appreciative of the way their side's gone about their play today as
Look at the
Selwood
handballs,
prepares to come back on.
80-35. That is an amazing statistic.
just not winning enough of the ball, the Lions.
Down to Mitchell. I just wonder whether they're paying him enough respect. He's had his 20th possession of the game. And here's Clark. That tactic has been fantastic of Clark running with Johnson. Now Leppich able to shrug a tackle and get ball to boot. Everett over the top on the wing. There's an early whistle. There's a shove anyway, and the free kick coming back to Chance Bateman, who tries to swing it through the middle. Crawford's breaking for the outer side. Meantime, the Hawks will work it through the middle. Crow unloads. And Williams just dropped in the lap. He let out on Michael. And this diminutive forward is causing all sorts of problems for the experienced Brisbane defence.
Well, yes, but once again, the Hawks have brought the ball in towards the corridor, and it was the crowed long kick. I can tell you right now, you go longer than your forward line, it puts defenders under pressure.
That's his 5th mark inside attacking 50, Mark Williams. Brisbane have taken 4 in total for the match.
And Williams going back to try and convert for his 4th. And he lets himself down and misses away to the left.
Gee, he should have 5.
Margin stands at 15. We saw what happened in the opening quarter when the Hawks got away to a nice lead and then the Lions hit back late. I'm sure they'll be conscious of trying not to let that happen again.
Johnson pinpoint to Michael. We got out to a 19-point lead in that opening quarter, Hawthorn, before Brisbane pegged it back out to Manus towards Notting. Brown did enough. It was brilliantly done by Campbell Brown. Tim Notting playing up forward.
We came into this game asking who was going to kick the goals, probably for both teams. Hawthorn have been able to find a goal kicker in Williams with 3. Brisbane have got Bradshaw with 2, but Darryl White's the only other option, it seems.
Well, Darryl White, Pike's the other one that can come up and kick a couple of goals. Notting, they would be looking forward maybe to snag a couple as well.
Brown got a 4th. Johnson intercepted, but his handball missed the mark. Now a chance for Leppich, who always cool in a crisis. Kicks out wide. Notting this time a chance. Couldn't hold on. Corrie's got it. 65 from goal. Chips. McLaren. Oh, Mitchell lined him up from away. And he's got the free kick or mark. Free kick. McLaren now, he's got to come around behind the mark. And they're contesting as though nothing's happened in the goal square. Now they realise.
Even the umpire in the goal square doesn't realise he's actually paid a free kick. Oh, no, he hasn't. He's saying get the ball back. I thought he was practising his decisions.
Heavy hit there on McLaren by Mitchell. But it must come back because McLaren was a metre off where he should have been. So I don't know that this crowd can quite believe what they've witnessed today. It's been a hard, tough, direct, play-on style of football that Hawthorn have played. And it's been fantastic to watch, and it's put them 15 points in front. McLaren just bombs away to the top of the goal square. Oh, big mark from Hodge. Just drifting in from the side. Oh, mark missed by Vandenberg. And that, he had runners on too.
Lots of arms going up, though, from the Brisbane players to each other. Their forward line is just, the cohesion is just not there at the moment, Steve, their decision-making.
No, they haven't. And I'm sure that Lee Matthews at half-time will restructure his forward line.
Taylor, Crow, little give to Hodge, wants his left side. So as a consequence, is forced to kick it out wide, but it's going to be okay because Reese will run onto it. McGrath in, Hodge will shoot. Support provided by Brown. Little kick around the corner is over the boundary line, and the umpire says throw it in on centre wing.
They're a good coaching box, Sauce, the Hawthorn boys. They brought Taylor on and thrown Everett forward. He's going to be picked up by Chris Scott unless the Brisbane Brains Trust can do something about it, so they're going to have a significant height advantage in attack pretty soon.
No doubt they've done their homework, and Everett was the one to push forward when he can. Very hard to match up, particularly for Brisbane, the Brisbane backmen who are already having major problems down there.
McLaren with the tap that time. Osborne came flashing through for the Hawks, and he's still involved with Corrie at the bottom of screen. again. Both the teams here just getting a bit of a chance to push and shove each other, let them know they're there.
In a crucial last 7 or so minutes of this quarter, Hawthorn have worked their way to an advantage. They've got to hold on here.
Ackermanis. And beautifully judged by Beaumont, just edging Notting out. Look at all the numbers out there. They spread eagle now as the ball goes along the wing. Again, it was Osborne to Crode. Just sits this one up at centre-half forward. No one really wanted other than Chris Scott. And he's able to take the mark. Goes out to Selwood. Good to see him back on the ground. Play on was the call. To Black. He breaks the shackles and then goes to half forward. Notting was looking at his opponent rather than the ball.
Great grab.
Hodge concentrated on the leather. He takes the mark, uses his wrong boot, which is his right, gives it to Crawford, and Crode again. He's giving them so much drive. He's in career best form as he gets it to Miller. Oh, the big man Franklin, what will he do with it this time? It's a good handball to Clark. Rees tries to weave through. Hurried kick from Clark was good thinking. Hawks have got the numbers, and they've got the footy, Ben Dixon. And it's much harder to intimidate if you're behind by 15 points on the scoreboard.
Yeah, very, very true. And you mentioned you mentioned Crode. Well, he's actually a loose man in the defence at the moment. Brisbane are opting a free man back in their half, and that is why Trent Crode is getting so much of the ball.
Ben Dixon, such an experienced player, has kicked over 190 goals in his career. Just his second game for the year. Only played the 10 last year. He knows how to kick them. He's kicked them after the siren, so that one's a soda. The Hawks are flying. (46-25), and the champion team of the last 5 years has got some issues this afternoon to try and sort out.
Yes, and we saw plenty of quick hands, but it was the quick kick by Clark that just got it forward. Don't need a special kick. Get it in there nice and quickly. Dixon does the rest.
Brisbane just have the one behind for the quarter. Hawks will kick 3 goals too. And in control, but a crucial last 5 minutes of this quarter. They can't allow Brisbane to sneak a couple of goals as they did in the opening quarter, where Brisbane kicked the last 3 goals of the quarter to get to within 2 points at quarter time as Richie Vandenberg sits down. Big pack of players around the football. Everett and McLaren. Everett gets it down. Crawford. Beaumont rushing through power. Ackermanis. Notting. Look out. The umpire do there. Play on's the call. Chance for Crode. Oh, superb stuff. Trent Crode. He picked it up one hand. Was he held? He was. He'll get the free kick.
He's got called a throw, I think.
Yeah, he has.
Oh.
Well, yeah, there's a couple of interesting calls there, wasn't there? Both close to being 50-50s. And certainly the Notting was lucky not to be penalised.
Well, Notting, he's still down after the tackle.
Well, let's have a look at the Crode. Oh, gee, I reckon it just spilt from his hand. Very lucky. I reckon as Notting gets to his feet. Now Ackermanis delivers out wide to Lepich. Brisbane pressing hard here. They need something. There's Bradshaw not providing, just wanting it long. There's nowhere to lead. That's the problem. Lepich wants to give it back to Ackermanis. Now he finds himself in trouble. Eventually kicks beautifully and pinpoints it to Bradshaw.
But it's the next step that's the problem, unless Bradshaw can kick the goal.
Well, he's a superb kick.
You've given him this one. You've marked it down already.
Well, I'll tell you what, he'll go very close if he doesn't. And he's a beautiful kick for goal. He pulls it back and just across the face, and the Hawthorn defence do enough to get it through for a behind. So well played by Peter Everett. The margin back to 20 points.
Just didn't have the legs, Prasad.
I've seen him kick them from there before.
Former Collingwood Premiership champion Michael Christian with us in commentary today, along with Stephen Silvani. Hodge. Down the middle he goes. And he's such a beautiful timer of the ball off the boot, but McLaren read it well and gives them a chance here. All the time in the world for Corrie.
It's a bad miss.
Punches his hand. He had all that time and couldn't make the most of it. Shane Crawford signalling to Luke Hodge that he'll take the kick in this time.
Crawford's been a star. He's had 20 possessions along with Sam Mitchell, 15 to Crowe, 12 to Brown, and the best for the Lions, Simon Black with 14, Michael Power, Ackermanis with 10 apiece as Crawford plays onto himself. Handball was a bit too fierce for Lewis. Oh, here's a turnover. Sherman can run in and kick a goal, and he does. And he's pretty happy about it too. He's very happy about it, and Justin Sherman kicks his first goal in AFL football.
That from McGrath, wasn't that superb?
It was, and it was just the fumble. It was almost a set play. But Sherman, first game up.
Second gamer on him in Lewis. Nice feeling for young Sherman to kick his first goal in AFL football. And it's back to 13 as we get close to half-time. And we are looking forward to the rest of this match. It's going to be fascinating to see what moves the coaches make, how the experienced players have an influence in the second half, and whether the youngsters of the Hawthorn can keep on keeping on. It's Crawford that gets them forward this time.
Great pickup.
Numbers back with the Lions though at the moment. Long kick onto the wing, but Everett able to take the mark. After Adcock had shown a bit of dash. Here's Lewis. Plenty of numbers pushed back. In fact, the Lions have got nobody at all in their forward line. So they are really surrounding just 40 metres ahead of where this ball is at the moment. So maybe they can break a line here, the Hawks. Bit of hesitation from Rees, by hand to Clark, back to Crawford. Trying desperately to create. Clark, Dixon, going nowhere. Fast the Hawks. Lewis, turnover not far away. Johnson for Black, but again the intercept. Dixon. Hodge on his left side, kicked it into the space. Lepic, and it's over and out, and the Lions will take that.
I reckon Hawthorn might too, after Brisbane looked as though they might break away. Look at the dominance in the clearances.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Justin Lepic just 7 possessions. Chris Johnson just 4. Two of their dynamos in defence. McLaren with the acrobatics. This is Osborne. Missed a couple of weeks with suspension. Back in the team this afternoon. Lewis, another Hawk in his second game. Here's Crawford into overdrive. Beautiful delivery on the chest of Williams. And that is still the burning problem for Lee Matthews. How to counter Mark Williams. He's had a big makeover over the summer, Mark Williams. Had the haircut. He's put the gun away.
Well, he's kicked 3 goals too. He could well have 5 goals because the opportunities he has missed have been relatively easy. Needs to kick this for the Hawks.
13 points is the margin as it stands, but you can make it 19. Mark down the 4th in the book for Mark Williams.
Yeah, and great ball usage again by the Hawks. Shane Crawford, what a game he is having. And Williams, well, that's his strength on the lead. If you were one of his teammates, you'd just be telling him, keep moving up the ground, keep leading, we'll keep getting the ball to you.
Mark Williams, 4 goals too this afternoon, and he got it from that man, Shane Crawford, who's been outstanding. Back in the centre, Taylor in the ruck. Try to get it towards Mitchell. Dixon in hard. Ball trapped underneath him. This is no. Umpire said no. Thought he might have paid holding the ball. We've seen that earlier on in the season, but not this time. Certainly, stance has softened over the last couple of weeks. And that interpretation. Taylor again tries to get it down. McLaren fighting hard at ground. Good little handball by Power to Adcock, who scrambles it towards half-forward. Pike, pushed out of it by Crowe, has been absolutely outstanding. Well done, McGrath got a hand on the bottom of his jumper, but he got it to Rees, to Crawford. Out in front of Barker. Well done, Barker. Was he carried forward in the tackle? He was. Free kick to Barker. Against Chris Scott. So the defence of the Brisbane Lions having their fair share of problems this afternoon.
Well, wonder why. When you get two midfielders, both Crawford with 25 and Mitchell with 20, they're getting plenty of the ball for their forwards to mark.
Barker kicks out wide towards Everett. Held a long time in the tackle. Somehow got a handball back to Crawford. 70 from goal. Kick around the body in front. Williams couldn't take it this time. Vanderberg over the top. Osborne kick a goal, and he does. Well, Hawthorn, what a performance in this opening half. They have absolutely killed Brisbane in the midfield. They're getting some reward for effort on the scoreboard. They lead it by 25 points. Great contest there in front again by Williams, setting up the Osborne goal. And they've averaged, interestingly enough, in their first three games, they were down by an average of 42 points at half-time.
Yeah, unbelievable.
They've certainly turned it around today.
Well, they've dominated the stoppages, and I can't recall a player ever having 26 possessions. Not even, it's not even half-time.
We are digging back into the record books. I remember Peter Featherby had 43 kicks one day, didn't he, for Geelong, and 50-something possessions for the game.
26.
Shane Crawford's best ever, I think, is 41 in a match. He's had 26 touches, and we're not even at the half yet. Let's see if he can get another one in this little passage. You won't need to, because Hodge will deliver. Again, it's Williams. Streaming out of the square, over to Clark. Oh, the Hawks are flying at the G, and the crowd's going wild. Tim Clark puts through another one. And the Brisbane Lions are on their knees. It's only half-time, or just about, but they have got major problems. This irresistible force that is Hawthorn today had 10 goals, 4 on the board to 5-3.
Now, great ball usage, great hands, it was quick hands. More importantly, it was forward. They brought it down towards the middle corridor, and they've been doing that all day.
6 goals, 2 for the quarter of the Hawks. Brisbane have kicked 1-3. Back in the centre. This time they get it forward. Pike, good strength this time from Pike. He delivers out wide, and the mark taken by Corrie on attacking 50. Wants it again with it quickly. Hoists it high towards the goal square. White or Bradshaw, but Barker gets back. Takes the relieving mark. Seconds to go in the half. He delivers out wide, and Crowe takes the mark as the half-time siren sounds. And what a performance in this opening half by Hawthorn. 10-4, they kick 6-2 in the second term to 1-3 and lead by 31 points. Pretty impressive opening by the Hawthorn Football Club.
Had no injuries from either camp. It was interesting watching the Hawthorn blokes come off at half-time. Several of them made a beeline for Tim Clark. Not only is he playing his 50th game today, but he's got the big job to retard Chris Johnson, who gives obviously Brisbane so much drive. Johnson with just the 4 disposals to half-time. Clearly Clark's got a massive job. His teammates are aware of it, and they let him know that they thought he was doing it absolutely magnificently at half-time.
Thanks, Andy. There's Justin Lepich. Sauce.
Yes, and look, he's not the only change that Lee Massage has made up there. Looks like Jamie Charman's also pushed forward, which gives them 3 tall targets. So important now that the Brisbane midfielders win enough of the ball. They're going to be looking at Simon Black and also Lukey Power, and Jason Ackermanis also needs to find a little bit more of the footy.
All right, can the Hawks keep their momentum going? Jonathan Hay and Simon Beaumont. And who's going to line up on Lepich? Crode is going to go on to Lepich, and Hay will stay on Bradshaw, so Beaumont will be outsized considerably by Charman. If they can get the ball into him and get it up and high and then quick, that's a chance for the Lions. There's the other end, Franklin and Williams versus White, who's gone into defence, and of course Mel Michael at full-back. 31 points is the equation for the Brisbane Lions as we start this third quarter, and McLaren high, Copeland overrunning it. Johnson put the boot in and got it going, but not for long. Brown and Miller still pretty energised, the Hawks. This is rough end. Hasn't seen a lot of it so far. Gets it off to Bateman. Well placed for McDonald to get the spoil on Barker, which he does effectively. And that's an interesting matchup, Steve. Young McDonald, who's once, of course, played on James Hird, has got the job on Johnny Barker.
Well, he's going to have to watch him very, very closely. Can be a bit of a game breaker too, Johnny Barker.
Everett and McLaren. Mitchell was circling, but Everett, as so often he does, doing his own roving. Here's Crawford. His 27th possession went straight over the line. He's been pinged. Deliberately out of bounds, says the umpire. Copeland to take it. Now Lepic is playing at centre-half forward, so we'll see what sort of moves he might make. At the moment, it's fairly congested area down the line, so Power somewhat flirting with danger and getting it to White. They're trying to change up and switch sides and get some space on the outer side of the ground, but there's nothing doing at the moment. That's well placed. And now Luke Power on the overlap can deliver, so they've been patient and been effective. This is Sherman, who has to kick it long and strong. There's lots of one-on-ones. Charman's down there. So the first move from Lee Matthews has paid off, at least to a small extent, as Jamie Charman, with the size, was able to take the mark.
Wes, and it was a great kick. He's got his tall forward up there in Charman, and he kicked it high and long, and that has worked very, very well early in this quarter.
So Hay has gone to Charman, as you would have seen there. Hasn't kicked a lot of goals over the years. 19 in his 65-game career from Jamie Charman, but he's worked out. Just missed it to the right. Really needed to put that one through, but the margin is 5 goals. And there's one opportunity gone begging.
Hodge at fullback has done most of the kicking in this afternoon. Has been very good, just chips into the pocket. Now what's going to happen here? The umpire, the goal umpire, runs across and it's out on the full. So a bad mistake, one of the few that Hodge has made this afternoon, and Bradshaw with the free kick. Now he decides to chip short, and Adcock play on's the call. Wasn't 15 metres. Now what's the umpire going to do here? He's not going to ping him.
Now that is a very interesting call. He kicked from well behind the boundary, and you'd have to say that was close to 15.
There's the replay of the kick. Well, Lewis did his best to try and look as though he marked it inside. Everett. Power held a long time in the tackle. Lewis again fighting hard at ground level. Power ineffective. Adcock shovels out now. He's the free kick coming, and 50 metres. 50 metres against Charman for kicking the ball after the free kick had paid. I thought for a moment he might have been going to pay a throw. So sometimes it is hard for the players to pick it up immediately which way it's going to go, but the free kick to Brown and a perhaps fortunate break there for Hawthorn. He's got it in the midfield. Hand off to Bateman, who's been good. He kicks towards half forward. Barker in good position. So is Roughhead. At the back, Clark. Kick around the body. Miller's got to go for it here, and he does. Some treatment from Corrie, but Harry Miller has marked in just his 4th game. He's kicked 1 goal 4 in his AFL career. And this is going to really test his kicking skill. But gee, what a break this would be if he was able to thread this through and give the Hawks a 6-goal lead. Doesn't look too confident, so he chips to Franklin.
That is shocking, manning up.
And Franklin's got it. He's deep in the pocket, though, Steve. There's a good look at the angle that confronts Franklin. He wants to give it off. Scott, you can see, standing well off the mark.
And he just have a shot, young fella. Have a shot.
He's the left footer, so it favours his left boot. He comes in from deep in the pocket. He kicks across the face. An umpire and goal umpire and boundary umpire confer. It's through for a point. So the margin back to 31 as it was at the half.
Geez, that was slack. That's just far too easy.
Chris Johnson retrieves the ball, and you can see the scoreline ticking over, 10-5 to 5-4. McDonald breaks to his left for a short option, but hesitation from Johnson. He wants to go long and wants Mel Michael to be the man. Couldn't mark it. Running shotgun, Ackermanis over the top. They've got it going. Corrie streaming along the wing. goes long, but it wasn't a great-looking kick. Jarman in front, brings it to the front, but the Hawks there to mop up. They don't do it cleanly. Bradshaw was quick to swoop, but he just can't bring it back enough. It was touched off the boot. Hodge was composed this time. Crawford quickly bounces to his feet, gets it onto Mitchell. He's got Miller away on the wing, and also Vandenberg. Now Miller involved. Pursued by Pike, but he's got him covered. Long to Everett. He's in good shape to mark this, and he's almost within range. He'll be favoured by his left boot. Can go to Franklin or Miller, or down to Williams, who makes his lead into the pocket. And Williams again is the danger man. He's kicked 4 already.
And great lead, great kick by Spider Everett.
Doesn't look amazingly confident.
No, but he's leading very well. That's his 7th mark inside forward 50 for the Hawks.
A few little leads, but he ignores them eventually and decides on having the shot for goal. And what a decision it was. He is having a day out. For Mark Williams. And that time it was Mel Michael who just can't get near him on the lead.
No, he couldn't, and I sense that Williams knew that Michael was behind him, but he stuck strong, he hit the lead, took the mark, and more importantly went back and slotted the goal.
And that equals Mark Williams' best haul of 5. So he's got a huge opportunity to really build on that. Margin out to 37 points. Everett, Crawford. Now, what's going to happen here? Umpire Ellis is going to give Hawthorn a free kick for a Shepherd. So it'll come back to Everett. McLaren just trying to work out where the mark is. Who would have thought? There it is again. There's the Shepherd and the infringement.
It's going to Barker.
Towards Barker in front. Oh, he marks in front of McDonald. That's a great kick. 2 great kicks to Everett.
He got a great screen from Crawford off the ball.
Now, John Barker can kick the ball a long way. Couple going back to him to say, have a go, Johnny.
So Crawford ran 50 metres to lay that screen then.
Yep, and that's exactly what Hawthorn have been doing all day, sacrificing.
He kicks from outside 50. He kicks a goal. If you can believe this, Hawthorn by 43 points, 8 minutes in third term. And Steve, here's a look at the free kick to Everett.
This is the free kick. Now, Shane Crawford releases that ball. The ball's taken back. If we watch Shane Crawford down there, he got a screen on McDonald, which allowed Barker to take an easy grab. I reckon Johnny Barker is their go-to man in this third quarter of the Hawks. I reckon they'd be happy with the match-up of McDonald on him.
That was the free kick that started it last time. 8 of the last 9 goals to Alistair Clarkson's troops. This is quite amazing. Black handballing and hoping. Mitchell hurrying forward with the kick. Johnson not handling it surely. He's not seeing enough of it today. He handled Everett there and even could have infringed. But the Lions stunned at the moment. The last time they were out of the 8 was round 9, 2001. And of course, from there on, they went on that winning streak and won 3 flags. But they are certainly under the pump today. Hodge can't escape this time. And he's been penalised, and he doesn't look too happy about it.
No, it doesn't. Now, just off the ball, we see Chris Johnson there on screen. Clark is actually playing a tagging role as a forward on Chris Johnson.
And I wonder whether
he's had 5 possessions for the game.
I wonder
Chris
whether
Johnson.
Lee Matthews shouldn't just cut his losses on Johnson and move him forward or onto the ball. They are fumbling all over the ground. This is not the Lions side we're used to seeing, that's for sure. McDonald swoops to Ackermanis. Can he spark them? He's surrounded by Hawks. He put it to ground. Play on was the call. Black, composed, bereft of options. Well played by Charman to fight on. Should be a goal, and McGrath gets boot to ball. They've got one back. Well played by Simon Black initially, and then Jamie Charman.
Let's have a look at the Ackermanis now. He was tackled and put the ball on the ground. That should have been a free kick to Crode. But intelligent stuff from Simon Black, centering the ball. Good fight from Charman. And McGrath eventually finishing it off. And tell you what, it's a much-needed goal. It's an understatement. They need a couple more of the lines.
Lee Matthews, you can see him there, he's already made another move. He's put Lepic back to defence, Sauce. Obviously, he wasn't happy with the matchup of McDonald on John Barker.
Yeah, listen, he's tried Lepic forward. That's where he's struggling. He's struggling to get the matchups down back.
Ackermanis dumps it to attacking 50. McDonald now up foot, or taken high was Lewis. And he'll take the free kick at centre half back. Out wide, by hand to Bateman, who goes to Vandenberg. Brisbane have not lost 3 games in a row since Lee Matthews took over. They're staring defeat right in the face at the moment in chips to Lewis.
And just at the moment, Spider Everett is pushing forward, which will make young McDonald very uncomfortable.
Hodge, Franklin got White out of the way illegally, says the umpire. So it'll come back to White. Franklin should be working back onto the mark. He is now. Darryl White kicks from half-back. McDonald, all pushed out. No free kick. Vandenberg, undecided, doesn't know where to go. Eventually, little handball to Hodge, who searched and kicked towards half-forward. Roughead at the back. Chris Scott. No, it's Brad Scott. It's a great tackle from Roughead, but the umpire says, give it to me. And we'll get a bounce. Good pressure from the youngster, Jared Roughead. And as we look at Scott again, and he's wrapped up. So here's an opportunity for the Hawthorn Football Club. McLaren out wide, Pike. He's well tackled. Boundary throw in. Vandenberg. Come on, umpire. It was deliberate.
Shane Crawford arguing that there was absolutely no difference between that one and the one on the other side of the ground. And he may have a point, although maybe he was under a little less pressure.
So boundary thrown on attacking 50 for Hawthorn. Everett props in front, McLaren to the back. Over the head of Hodge. Lewis has been impressive. Miller, handball missed the mark, makes Crawford work. He searches for the line and does it very well. The former captain. Now what's some cramp, I think. I thought for a moment he was grabbing his hamstring, but it's just some cramp, and who would wonder? 27 possessions.
Just going back to the Miller handball. Was a look-away handball. Just needs to hit the target.
Everett and McLaren. Crawford was in there. McLaren somehow got it forward. Adcock. So the Lions get it to half forward. McDonald out-bodied. He's given away the free. Goes to Beaumont. He's not happy. Hawks aren't wasting any time, though. They're quick to swing it out wide. And Trent Crode to go on one of his runs. Kicks for the leading Barker. Lepic tried to bring him down and did that effectively. Links up with Chris Johnson. Haven't seen that too many times. Johnson trusts his skills on the left side. Charman's got to move it. Gets it onto McGrath. Oh, hesitation from McGrath and McDonald. They looked at each other for a moment, and the moment passed. And the Lions, they are not the side we're used to seeing. They're under pressure there. 37 points down, and they've got to get a move on. Charman in ruck, trying to bring it to ground. There's some hanging on, and it's a Hawthorn ball. Goes to Crode as the Hawks swing it out. Will quickly swing down to Andrew Marr.
Just the amazing thing about Shane Crawford, Hutto, in the high rotation of midfields, and they continue today. Crawford's still yet to spend any time on the bench this season, and that includes today, obviously.
He was involved there as Everett hacks it forward towards half forward. Selwood copped it, heavy knock earlier. Ladson, well done Ladson. Centres the ball towards full forward. Michael's got the advantage this time, but it spills to Williams, or kicking 6. Margin out to 43 points. Mark Williams has kicked 6, 2 in each of the quarters. And we watch it here. Mel Michael should have been advantaged, but the pressure coming from his teammate, in fact, was Scott, and Williams stayed down, and he's kicked 6 in an outstanding display.
Crawford coming off the ground, but he's hit the nail on the head. Pressure. That's what pressure does to backmen.
Well, Shane Crawford has spent time on the bench now.
You put the mocker on him, Andy.
I just sensed that it was coming, Chriso, so I wanted to get the stat in early.
Oh, the Hawks, they're out to a 43-point lead again. And Mark Williams, his previous best was 5 goals. Early last year, round 6 it was, against Richmond when he kicked 5. He's got 6 now. And that is an amazing performance.
They are working on his hammies, Hutto. We probably shouldn't be joking about it just off the back of that little cramp that he had before.
There's Sam Mitchell, who'll be cramping as well. He's had 23 possessions. Power trying to generate something for the Lions. Spoil from Brown. McGrath, who looks about their most dangerous forward at the moment. Off to Sherman. He could go through and kick his second goal. He misses a very golden opportunity. There's a couple in this quarter that have just got away from them. And now it's 13-5 to 6-5. It's a long way back from here.
Brad Hodge, there's Shane Crawford, and his hamstrings worked on. Hodge, long towards half-back into the side. Crode, what a game he's played, Trent Crode. Enjoying his time back at Hawthorn to Rees, delivers out wide. Brown. Bateman continues to run. Brown chips it short. Clark making Johnson man him up. Got it just forward of the wing. Here's a look at what's ahead of him. He chips it short. Rees methodically working it forward Hawthorn. Brisbane have got most of their players in the defensive half. In fact, as I speak, they've got all 18. He handballs off to Crode, who kicks towards Barker, who marks. Lepage and Selwood really getting in each other's way there. And Johnny Barker has marked, will kick from 50. He's a wonderful kick of the football. And he'll decides to deliver into the pocket and missed by Taylor. And Johnson mops up, although wasn't convincing. Oh, gee.
That's a big hit.
Players are down, and it spills it to Brad Scott eventually, to Chris Scott. Oh, he's taken high by Mitchell. No free kick.
Gee.
Both players down. They haven't really...
That's a big hit.
Robert Copeland. Let's watch it again. There's Ladson and Copeland. Just a clash of heads. Ooh. Copeland's up.
Both of them up. Good news.
Bit of blood, obviously, with Robert Copeland, of course.
So Copeland comes from the ground, replaced by Simon Black.
Ladson going off as well now.
So we get a bounce at half forward for the Hawks. Rich applause for the two players there, both showing courage. Osborne concedes ground back to Brown. Left foot kick out wide. Franklin's made position. He's got plenty of space. He kicks inside, attacking 50. Everett on the lead. He couldn't hold on, Big Spider. Chance for Corrie. Oh, danced around one. Oh, handball missed the mark, though. Miller, where's he going? Oh, he kicks poorly. In fact, missed the target by a long way, did Harry Miller.
I want to go back to the Everett-Michael contest. There's no doubt that Mel Michael took Spider Everett's arm in that contest.
They've been paying that all this year, the chopping of the arm, not that time. Corrie's got it in the back pocket for the Lions.
And he's got not much on right now. He has to go long. Couple of big leaps at the back from Crode, maybe infringing. Crode and Franklin both looking for the big one. Charman standing at the front. There's the shove as the umpire read it. Off to Ackermanis, who kicks with a little bit of air, but just enough grasp on it for the umpire to pay it to Selwood. And he moves it on. Again, not very direct, out wide. Beaumont went to ground, Hayed him off up, he's gone. He was well tackled. Black on the wrong side, hooked it in with great touch for McGrath, but he just couldn't get on the end of it. Nothing going the way of the Lions today. And it's through from behind. The margin stands at 41. They need to get a couple of goals before three-quarter time to have any hope at all.
Well, they did come back a couple of weeks ago against Port Adelaide at Amy Stadium.
True.
I think they were down by something like 40 points.
We've seen lots of comebacks, haven't we, in the last couple of weeks?
So there's still plenty of time for them. As Hodge finds Vandenberg. Chips delicately out wide. Mark taken by Crowe. Trent Crowe, mark number 7, coming in for possession, number 21. He's been a star at half-back. Kicks dangerously inside the centre square, but Brown is in plenty of space. He's away. 2 bounces. Williams provides a lead. He chips to that player, and he marks. No, he couldn't quite hold on. The pressure from Michael was good. Great chase down, though, by Osborne. They've turned it over. Franklin dancing this way, that way. Handball missed the mark, but they've got the numbers. Clark. Beaumont needs to be precise, and he is. Vandenberg. Great pressure again from Hawthorn as he chips inside, and mark taken by Tim Clark, and Hawthorn are using Clark as they make a passage through the midfield. Now Vandenberg's dropped back into space and he marks 55 from goal.
Well, they've got plenty of numbers back here, Brisbane. Hawthorn just chipping the ball.
Osborne called to play on. Gee, they were unlucky there, the Hawks, because that wasn't 15 metres, it was just about, and they'll get a bounce on attacking 50.
Lance Franklin is going to drag a lot of people along to the footy, isn't he? I mean, if you're a Hawthorn fan right now watching this on telly, next week you'd say, I'm coming to watch.
Oh, no doubt, it's just his quickness. Very fast on his feet.
Charman down to Mitchell, who can't get the initial releasing handball. His next one not so good. Lions have still got the fumbles. Johnson this way and that away, working it through the middle, gliding through the middle. Selwood from Black, almost within range. He was astray anyway and didn't get anywhere near the distance. And the Lions, as we've mentioned a number of times, just a shadow of the former selves. As Dixon drives, here's Corrie with an opportunity. Brought it in front of him, which was good. Charman still had a problem. Corrie has to go in after it again. Stalked by Miller. Mitchell a half handball. Adcock back across to Sherman. And he goes into the pocket. The boundary line would be welcome, I think, for both Dixon and the Lions. At least a chance to set up again.
Exactly right. You just said that, Hutto, chance to set up. It's been one of the problems with the Brisbane forward line at the moment. The ball's been going in there, but it's just been rebounding straight out. Makes it very difficult for your defence. They get very, very tired.
It's a very crowded forward line at the moment. McLaren, Taylor gets the tap. Selwood with a handball that was just in hope more than anything. And the Hawks through Vandenberg, and now Barker able to turn defence into attack as Williams makes a very long lead. He won't quite get that far. Down onto the wing was Crowe. Good collision, well done by Chris Johnson. Rode the bump, but he had troubles too. He just had no one to give it to. Hawks are going in numbers. They're winning the one-on-one contests around the ground. They're teaming up together. And out wide, Crowe positions it for his teammate to run onto. Barker again running the arc and suddenly running out of space. Well done by Addard, who pursued it. To the line went Rees. Along the boundary line goes Addard, and that's been pinged for deliberate.
Well, you know, he's tied. They're tied, these line defenders.
Well, he shouldn't be. He hasn't been on the ground that much.
Well, but it's amazing what pressure does, Hutto.
Let's have another look at it.
You can get tired very quickly,
Well, yeah, you can, trust me.
Everett takes the mark. He's got Williams down in the square. Big Taylor's there as well. Mel Michael with the 2 fists. Controlled it pretty well. Still it's in the danger area. Crawford's back on the ground. Look at Big Taylor to Mitchell. Over to Franklin. Let's watch him go to work. Lance, he let me down. Sherman gets it off to across half back, but again they're going nowhere, the Lions, and the ball over and out.
There he is, Lance Franklin. John Barker comes from the ground. Lance Franklin, of course, taken number 5 in last year's national draft. Jared Roughead at number 2. Oh, gee, Taylor was held. And he'll get the free kick. Thought about giving it to...
Got Everett free.
Kicks to Franklin, who was a poor kick. And Chris Scott got rid of him. Chance for Selwood. Oh, great stuff from Osborne. Oh, he just went hoo-high. Selwood with the free kick. He's a tough nut, Michael Osborne. Selwood kicks to Michael, who delivers inside the centre square. Here's a chance. Bradshaw, the reft of opportunities. He gives to Power. Now out wide, chance for McDonald, who started this quarter up in the defensive end. Now finds himself up forward. Oh, cleverly measures the kick to McGrath, who marks on attacking 50. Kicks to the goal square. Oh, well done. Great stuff from Crawford, and Hodge lends some assistance. And together they combat the much taller opponent in McLaren and force a rush behind.
So the margin stands at 40, and the Hawks have another 3 minutes to erode to try and not concede a goal here. Clark and Johnson, Crode, just getting a little bit scrappy, the Hawks, in the last few minutes. And I wonder if Brisbane can sense an opportunity to try and thread one or two before three-quarter time. They haven't really been able to mount a challenge at any stage, have they, the Lions?
No, they haven't. I just don't think they've got enough run through the midfield, and they just can't find a forward. It's been the story all day.
Black trying to generate something, but his handball is just, as you saw, straight to Osborne. There's Power applying a great tackle. Hodge tries to bully his way through. He did, but not effectively. Big Charman can clear a passage. McGrath trying to help it on. Mitchell somehow released the ball. Crowed out wide where the Hawks were camped out on half-back. Vandenberg goes for Big Taylor. He takes the mark. Franklin leading up, but he goes shorter than that first. To Rees. Pops it over the top to Franklin. Nothing much doing for him at this stage.
Needs to kick it long to Everett, who's stationed in the pocket.
Charman is back as a loose man, or the ruckman pushing behind the play, so perhaps why he had his reluctance. McLaren's down there as well. Charman with the two fists. A fist from Selwood, which at least puts it forward, but free kick has gone to Mitchell. He dived forward and really was a little bit lucky, but he was the man going for the ball, so you've got to give him some credit, and he uses it beautifully into Roughhead. Well, he might get 50 if McGrath's not careful.
Well, I think they're complaining whether it travelled 15 metres or not.
Yeah, and on this afternoon, and you saw there was not much in that free kick. And really, on the way they've been judging distances this afternoon, they are very lucky to consider that one to be the required journey. But Roughhead, who showed he was up to it last week with a couple of goals, this one will really sting the Lions on the bell at three-quarter time. Oh, celebration. And the great joy for the Hawk fans is just the spread of this young talent.
Yeah, and the great thing that set that goal up was just the commitment by Mitchell. He did one it down at centre half back moments ago, but followed up with that effort there.
Concerns for Lee Matthews. Hawthorn out to their biggest lead of the match. There's Jason Ackermanis getting treated. 46 points the margin. Everett has been a tower of strength. Mitchell's been fantastic. He hacks it forward towards half-forward. Franklin will get there first. Brad's got a chance. Oh, he ran right around it. Chance for Roughhead. Tries to knock it out. Michael in there assisting. He's well wrapped up by Franklin. Reese in hard. Chance now for Corrie. He has the football. Couldn't do much with it. Crawford. Selwood now nodding. Numbers went out there for the Hawks, and Selwood, a nodding put down after he got rid of the football. Now on the wing. Taylor will be there first. Tried to keep his hands free, but McGrath knew exactly what he was doing. Pinned his arms and forces a boundary throw in. He's been pretty good, young Taylor.
Well, provided they don't get another goal here in this quarter, this will be the 6th quarter of the past 10 for the Lions that they've failed to score more than one goal, which is quite amazing when you consider how heavily they've scored over the years. Seconds remaining only. And Lee Matthews must know that his side has an almost impossible task to win this game in the last quarter. I say almost, because there is still a full quarter to go. But the mountain will be huge. What a sensational performance from Alistair Clarkson's Chargers, Sauce.
Oh, yeah, they followed up with some great football. Obviously, Lee Matthews going down the race, which is very interesting, but full credit to the Hawks. They persisted in that third quarter. They didn't allow the Brisbane Lions to intimidate them. They stuck to their game plan, and they have 1 quarter of football left to get their first win of the year.
Quarter. And you'd think Lee Matthews would have a few words to say, and I wonder what his whiteboard looks like at the moment. Saucy, if you were in charge, what would you do with the midfield?
Well, they've been totally dominant, the Hawks, in the midfield, and one of the reasons why is Spider Everett. His game today has been sensational against Jamie Sharman and also McLaren. And, this is the reason why he's had plenty of the ball, and particularly around the ground, he's been dominating with his marking and just giving the hit outs as well. And he's given his smaller players first use. The only thing I could suggest here was maybe they are getting beaten around the packs. They need some grunt in there. Maybe Chris Johnson is the man to put in the midfield.
Johnson with 9 possessions, just started to get a tiny bit of it there in that third quarter. Primus whiteboard at 3-quarter time as we go down to Andrew Marr.
Oh, thank you very much, Anthony Hudson. The only issue in that third quarter was the head clash you saw between Ladson and Copeland. Both are okay. Copeland coming to the bench to resume his position in the third quarter, but both blokes are okay.
Thanks, Andy. What do you reckon he would be saying, Chris? No lethal lead at 3-quarter time.
He looked pretty composed, and I think really just getting message across that, let's continue to try and do the things that have made us such a great side over the last few years, probably increase their intensity a bit and try and get a bit of flow in their game. They've really been very stop-start as we look at Sam Mitchell and Shane Crawford. Between them, 53 possessions up to 3-quarter time. Quite remarkable.
And League's still going with these younger players in Adhart and Sherman in the midfield. He's got faith in them.
And the best comeback ever by a Brisbane team from 3-quarter time is 45 points. That was that famous day against the Hawks up at the Gabba when the Hawks were into the shade. In Melbourne, though, their best comeback, 9 points back in '89 against Carlton. That was the day Wolsey got the sack.
Well, the task ahead of the Brisbane Lions. Final quarter underway. Charman gets it down towards Black, who was very good early. And a free kick, which way will it come? And we'll come back to the Brownlow medalist.
Wolsey was coaching Carlton, of course, back then, and I think Warwick Kappa kicked a goal. Were you playing that day, Sauce?
No, I was injured that day, Hutto.
That's why they lost, obviously.
Leading possession.
Actually, he might have dropped me, Wolsey.
Leading possession winner for the Lions. Black with possession number 21, delivers superbly out wide. Mark taken by Bradshaw. He just loads up, kicks it to the top of the goal square. McLaren and Hay, fist from Hay. Well done by Brown, who's been very good this afternoon. Gee, took his time, but it was okay. Delivers out wide effectively. Mark taken by Miller. He wants to play on, and he gets around Corrie and delivers to Bateman. Chance Bateman's been a valuable player as well. Coming in possession number 14, but he's certainly been very effective.
Hawthorn, I guess, don't want to get too defensive too early in this last quarter, Sauce, do they?
Oh, no. I'm pretty sure Alistair Clarkson would have just told him to keep hitting the ball up, keep playing as a team.
Some magic from Franklin. He got it to Roughead, or his handball just over the head of Miller, and allows Johnson to come into it, and he chips dangerously. Well done, Adhart. He showed some courage there. Coming in the other way was Osborne, who's been very tough at it this afternoon.
Gee.
And we'll get a bounce just forward of the wing for the Hawks.
He may have got a free kick for that. Usually they're very protective of the player taking the mark. Maybe there was no illegal contact.
Yeah, I guess mind seeing it again if we could.
There's Black, out wide to Corrie. Missed the mark, and again this un-Brisbane-like play when they just haven't had the sure handling. It shows what a big role confidence plays in any sport. And Shane Crawford, or Shane Confidence as you could call him, is full of it at the moment. Franklin again involved. Everett off the left. He blazes away. Oh, they can do no wrong. And that will certainly put the 4 points in the back pocket. And it's now just a matter of how far.
Yes, and numbers. Everett pushing forward as he has done most of the day. He's been very hard to match up when pushing forward into the forward line. The Hawks are home, Hutto.
Hawthorn have kicked 11 of the last 13 goals. Incredibly. Charman, this one. He's got it back. He's well wrapped up. And we'll get a secondary bounce. The Brisbane bench. Selwood, Copeland, Brad Scott, Darryl White. With experienced players there. A genuine attempt there from Mitchell. He's got the free kick, incredibly. I thought he might have given one away there. But Sam Mitchell coming in for possession, number 29. He delivers out wide. Bateman, overlap provided by Hodge. Towards Crawford. Haddad work him under the ball. Giving back Clark, can't keep it in. And boundary throw in at half forward for Hawthorn. So Mitchell with 29 possessions, Crawford with 28, Crowe with 25, the best for the Hawks. And the only player with more than 20 possessions for Brisbane is Simon Black with 22. Everett down to Ladson, hurries the kick forward. Lepage, sure hands that time. Support from McManus, who's been pretty quiet. Adcock in the midfield with plenty of space. Hard lead from Bradshaw, ignores that. That's poor play because he kicked it out wide, looking for power. Dixon hard in on him, lucky not to give away a free kick. Osborne going hard at it. Power. Good tackle on him by Osborne. Notting was taken a little high. No free kick there. Pike. The pressure from Hawthorn is relentless. Beaumont to Mitchell. Underground kick to Osborne, who scrubs it towards Everett, who did well to trap it as he did. Now he's in real trouble. Somehow got a 2-metre kick to Osborne. And he kicks, and the mark taken by Roughhead on the wing.
Mitchell powers on. He just keeps on running. Over the back, Bateman lurking in the pocket. McGrath trying to catch him. Catch me if you can. He can't. Chance Bateman joins the queue of Hawthorn goal kickers as they power on. And Sam Mitchell has started so much of it. 31 possessions. 6 goals for Mark Williams, and then Crawford, Everett, Barker, Bateman, Clark, Hodge, Franklin, Osborne, Dixon and Roughhead all with singles.
Electrifying stuff from Hawthorn. Sam Mitchell has been absolutely outstanding. And look at the acceleration here from Bateman as he just made the 2 steps, then grubbers it through. The Hawks out now by 58 points.
So the chase by Vandenberg was sensational moments before that.
So Everett beaten this time by Charman. Black scrubs it forward, but Brown in the way. What a game Campbell Brown's played as well. Beaumont, well, he's got a problem here, just fends off Corey. He did it pretty well in the end. And kicks out wide to his captain, Vandenberg. Now, wouldn't Richie Vandenberg be proud of his team today? So close last week. Would have been easy for them just to say, well, we've tried hard, we weren't good enough. But they came out running right from the opening bounce. Beaumont gives it back to Vandenberg, who kicks across the ground. Now he sets Miller a task here. He takes it on the bounce and chips around the corner. Crawford's got to go. He marks in front of Added.
Covered some ground, hasn't he?
Kicks inside, Vandenberg. They need to keep going with the style of play that served them so well. He chips eventually. Osborne, who's been good. He's been tough. He kicks towards Spider. Couldn't quite take it. At the back chance for Charman. Good pressure from Williams. But the Charman kick close to the line. Dixon will haul it in just inside. Now Clark from 60. Everett, couldn't take it. Williams spills it up. Everett somehow finds himself 40 metres from goal. He delivers another one. This is quite incredible. Margin now in excess of 10 goals. 64 points, and we watch it again, Steve.
Oh, just sensational footy, and it came from their pressure. They're tackling, they're chasing. Spider Everett, he's running amok at the moment. 2 goals in this last quarter.
And there's the midfield. Brain power, Everett, Mitchell and Crawford. What a combination it's been today.
And you talk about domination, 330 possessions to 189.
Charman pumps one forward. McLaren slung off the ball. Oh, look at Crow. Such confidence and poise. Teaming up with Hodge on his left side. Onto the wing, the kick wasn't particularly well placed. But in the end, it might bounce okay. Beaumont overruns it. Johnson with a job ahead of him here. Got a half handball out. Pike off the ground. Numbers with the Lions and numbers prevail. This is Attard. He's been stalked by Osborne, but he got the kick away. Oh, Campbell Brown. Back with courage, but not quite the footy. Crowd was about to be pinged, I reckon. Just got rid of it in time. Hodge pushed a man away. Flying snap at goal is pretty good. Hawks trying to claim it was touched. And a goal. And it was young Sherman, who I think's kicked his 3rd now.
There, and
Might only be his 2nd.
but he's actually had a real crack, Sherman. Impressive type of play, strong around the ball. But the Hawks have only kicked 3 goals, 7 since quarter time.
The Lions?
Yeah, sorry, the Lions. I know.
Where's a raise?
So, a rare goal to Brisbane. Margin back to 58 points. Everett and Charman at it again. Everett this time Crawford. Half handball out was effective to Ladson. His handball ineffective. He gets a second chance. He's wrapped up by Attard and also Charman. So umpire calls for it. Hawthorn just ahead in contested possessions. And look at the uncontested possessions. 236 to 104. Incredible stuff. Try and get it clear. Sherman, I think, at the base of the pack.
We have a look at the discrepancy in the Hawks' possessions to Brisbane. It's not as if Hawthorn have overused the footy. They've been quality possessions and their usage has been sensational.
It's a reflection of how hard they've run, I think, Steve, as Ladson kicked it forward. Now there's a free kick coming back.
And particularly since half-time, they've been more direct, haven't they, and really broken the game open.
Well, they've got out of trouble with good hands, but they've brought the ball inside into the corridor, which has opened their options up forward.
Needs to be long and direct to Everett here, Ladson. He's one out in the... Well, not one out, but he's down. There he is, Big Spider. The kick out wide. Mark taken by Mitchell. Now was he off? Yes, he's been called to play on. He definitely kicks it out wide. Oh, Williams, hands and knees, couldn't quite handle it. Dangerous kick inside by Michael. Copeland, been quiet. Corrie, got some toe. Corrie, gets a good shepherd by McLaren, who got rid of Hodge. Corrie has 3 or 4 bounces. Great chase by Ladson, but he delivers to Sherman, who's marked in the pocket.
I tell you what, young Sherman, he's pretty keen on a goal, I reckon. He had a few teammates streaming there for leads. There's that shepherd. It was pretty heavy. Certainly enjoyed the last goal he kicked.
He certainly did. So he's deep in the pocket. He's kicked a couple. Can he bring it back? It's pretty good. He's kicked another one for the Lions. He's kicked 3. So Justin Sherman, with the last 2 goals of the match, brings the margin back to 52 points. And he takes his total for the afternoon to 3 and is Brisbane's leading goal kicker.
Yeah, one of the real bright lights for Brisbane. Looks a real mature type player. His physique's great and doesn't mind getting in and winning the footy. So 3 goals today is a good outcome for him.
Brad Hodge not happy with the shepherd he got from McLaren, just pushing and shoving.
Young Sherman, who's off screen now, but 3 goals. has been the real bright light, hasn't he, for the Lions today? He's got a bit of a sporting background, Sauce, hasn't he, young Sherman?
Yes, his mother was an Australian netballer. His father was an Australian soccer player as well, and apparently related.
Third cousin once removed to Ricky Ponting and Roger Merritt. Must have the whole family tree up at home to get the third cousins in.
He may be related to you somewhere down the track too, Otto.
Well, I guess if he's got sporting blood, Sauce, you could be right.
Everybody's got skeletons in their closet, Sauce.
What is that voice I hear from somewhere? Charman. Over to Ackermanis, and now he got dumped after he laid the handball off. Just getting a little sloppy there, the Hawks. It's going to come back to Jason Ackermanis. Spider Everett not too impressed with Charman. And really, at the moment, it's just amazing to watch the Lions, who are trying to get some credibility in this last quarter. Bradshaw's got a good league on here. Fair fist, but Bradshaw held his ground. Good luck under that one. McLaren got a shove, and the umpire saw it. Against Hodge, goes to McLaren.
It was a fair push. Spot on the umpire. Been having a fair duel off the ball, these two, Hodge and McLaren.
So young McLaren to try and get another one back for the Lions. Made the goal umpire work, but he's put it through. So the Lions getting some late goals, but alas, it's all a little late.
Hodge and McLaren, and good play out of the centre there. Good direct play by Brisbane. They kicked the last 3 goals of the match after Hawthorn kicked the first 3 goals of the quarter to get it out to 64 points. It's now back at 46. McLaren and Hodge still at it off the ball, and Brisbane now with the last 3 goals, so margin back to 46 points. Charman again gets over the top of Everett, going nowhere on that occasion. The margin at 3/4 time was 46 points, so 3 goals apiece. And to start this final term, giving away some height. 12 centimetres, in fact. Luke Hodge to McLaren. Again, players in the centre. Now, he thought about giving hold of the ball, umpire Ellis, but decided against it. What a game from Sam Mitchell. His clearance work has just been of an outstanding quality. Taylor. Brad Scott couldn't get boot to ball. Rough head. Now a chance for Rees. Now Hodge. The general across half-back. He delivers out wide. Franklin and Michael. This will be a tussle. This will be interesting. Needs to keep his... Oh, gee. Thought it was a touch soft, but Michael with the free kick. He's got power loose on the wing. He's manned up by Osborne, so now he's forced to kick long. Target is McLaren. Hodge tries to work him out of it. Contest by Roughhead. Osborne hard in on Ackermanis. Chance at the back for Power. Who chips inside the centre square. Attard, he's been called to play on, so he hands off to Brad Scott, who wobbles the ball out wide. Now a chance for Beaumont getting back. Shoot, he ran all around it. Bad bounce. He knocks it out intelligently. Vandenberg crashes one tackle. Well played, Richie. Sweeps the handball into the path of Mitchell. Overlap provided by Crawford. Shane Crawford has one bounce. Handball to Franklin. He's got further options. Oh, he slipped over. An ineffective disposal, but he'll get the free kick for a high tackle. Perhaps a touch lucky.
Yeah, I think he's lucky. I mean, he's fallen into the tackle.
Yeah, and if you fall over, how is the tackler meant to adjust?
Franklin chips it out wide to Rees. Barker's on a long lead. Now Ladson moves for him. And he obliges by chipping it over the top. Kick and a half from goal. Well, with that kick, he's back to 2 kicks from goal as he chips it back to Osborne. Brisbane have got numbers back. Lepage is loose, patrolling inside their attacking 50. Chips it back out to Vandenberg. Now Bateman is on if he wants to go short. Well, kick missed the mark. And Bateman not happy.
Well, he doesn't need to show his disgust.
Boundary thrown at half forward for Hawthorn.
The game just degenerating slightly at the moment. The Hawks will want to finish full of flourish because they've been so magnificent today. It's going to matter little in the end because they're clearly going to win this game, and they want some more though. They're not finished yet. Osborne, probing kick. Williams had it fisted away. Adcock and Barker, and Adcock takes it over.
Hello, just to watch on Shane Crawford. He's coming off the ground. He's been hobbling around for about the last 5 minutes, something to do with his right leg. He's clearly not 100%.
Well, they'll probably rest for the rest of the match, you would think. No point taking a risk at this stage. Ackermanis up to the wing. Good tackle on Lewis, and he managed to get it clear. Osborne's kick to Clark. Back to Ladson. Here's Harry Miller. There's the goals. He finds them. Oh, they're all getting on the act, that's for sure. Harry Miller threads through his first. And the Hawks to 18-5. As we see Crawford just clutching the lower leg there.
Yeah, it looked like he may have a cork around the shin calf area, but once again, great play by the Hawks. Good usage by hand and by Miller to finish it off and bring the ball inside the corridor once again. Obviously got a well-structured game plan at the moment, the Hawks. They may lose some over the course of the year, but as long as they stick to this game plan, I think there's some sunshine at the end.
So margin back out to 52 points. Taylor doing battle with Chum. Oh, gee, got up high, got it to Mitchell, who's wrapped up immediately by Sherman. And umpire calls for it. Sam Mitchell, leading possession winner on the ground with 33. Crawford with 30. Crawford had 26 to half-time in an outstanding first half of football. Taylor again. This time Black. Back to Lepage off a step. He just hoists it high to half-forward. Power sits underneath it. Campbell Brown in from the side. Mitchell at the base of the pack. Osborne put the head down. Shovel down by Black to Corrie. Can he pick it up? Pressure is intense by the Hawk defence. Miller. Well done, Harry Miller. Kicks it out wide. Oh, Clark sat and waited for it. Allowed Johnson in, but he's well wrapped up by Ladson. Hawthorn there in number, and they work it out between them. Miller to Mitchell. Sweeps the handball into the path of Clark, and now Vandenberg. He kicks towards half-forward. Barker's dropped back on McDonald. Inside attacking 50. Oh, gee, I thought he was off. He chips back towards Clark, who's run hard. And Clark has marked 40 metres from goal. And what a masterstroke from Alistair Clarkson to line Tim Clark up on Chris Johnson to certainly negate his influence on the game, but he's been a valuable contributor in his own right.
Yes, and yeah, spot on. And one of the great things today also, you talk about the hardness at Hawthorn, their tackling, their chasing, but their run has been sensational as well. They've created a number of options for themselves, and it's been their hard running from their back line, and it's just been a wonderful team effort.
Well, he's kicked a goal. He's had 18 possessions, coming in for his 19th, 6 marks. What a way to celebrate his 50th game if he could thread this through from 45. He kicks across the face, and the Lions at the base of the pack, and Michael just defensively knocks it through. So the margin now 53 points. I should add in favour of Hawthorn, in case you've just joined the telecast.
Copeland seems to have recovered from a nasty head knock earlier on. A great distance on the kick, and Lepage takes the mark. and tries to burst away. So suddenly the Lions into attack, and he goes down to Chris Johnson, who takes the mark. He wanted to go. In the end, he thinks better of it, and he'll go back and have a shot. Just under 5 minutes remaining. So it's really going to test this Brisbane Lions side. Obviously, they get Jonathan Brown back in a couple of weeks. Voss will probably be back next week.
I think the problem with the Lions side at the moment is there's so many guys that are underdone.
Chris Johnson, normally a beautiful kick, and you can see that he still is. So what do you think about them in terms of the season then, Sos?
Well, they've won 1 out of 4, and look, Jonathan Brown's going to be a massive inclusion in another week or two, and they've certainly dropped off across half forward. But listen, they've got to get some of their good players on the track, and they've got to get some football into them.
So margin 47 points. 4 goals apiece. In this final term, Everett and McLaren face off. Everett gets it down to Mitchell. Handball into the path of Vandenberg. Can he pick it up? He does eventually. Stood up a long time in the tackle. Ladson knocks it towards half forward. Favours Copeland, who just bangs a wobbly torpedo onto the boot. Bradshaw going back. Chance for Power. He snaps across his body. Ball bouncing. Wrong side of the post. So Luke Power registers behind with his 19th possession. Total disposals 361 to Hawthorn, 214 to the Lions.
Hodges' kick just misses the mark and ready to pounce. He's missed away to the left, was nodding. So now it's 10-9 to 18-6. Well inside the last 5 minutes, the security men starting to ring the MCG. As Hodge kicks in, that's a better effort. Right out to the wing to Roughhead. Links up nicely through the middle with Osborne. Better watch out, Copeland was bearing down. Gets it in long and strong. 1-2, Williams not this time. Help from Miller was needed. He drops the ball. McGrath, who was his original opponent, back on Williams at the moment. Numbers with the Hawks still. Miller. Handball out the side. He heard the call from Everett, honoured it. Everett can't shrug the tackle, but he was able to get ball to boot. McGrath back into trouble. Miller goes down, and we've got a bounce.
So a bounce at half forward for the Hawks. McLaren gets it down. Players very tight. Sherman has kicked 3 for the Lions. Adhard combines with McDonald. Now Sherman, who kept going, and he kicks out wide. Lewis, almost a very good mark. Brown over the head. The handball to Lewis was clean with his hands. Now Clark. Deft kick out wide in favour of Crawford. 60 from goal. He props, he waits, wants someone to kick it to, and hits it over the head of Taylor. And the mark taken there by Michael, who kicks out wide. Corey almost, great pressure. Boundary throw in. And that was great stuff from Richie Vandenberg.
That was. He's had a great game, Richard Vandenberg. Just going through the goal kickers, Michael. They've kicked 31 goals for 3 games before this. They've had 12 goal kickers today.
Yeah, it's a heartening sign for all Hawk fans. Taylor, was he pushed in the back? It spills to Mitchell. Mitchell from 20 metres. Just misses to the near side. What a star he's been.
36 possessions.
Career high 36 possessions for Sam Mitchell. He hasn't lacked support though. As the Lions bring it out of their defence, Adcock leisurely and kicks towards the wing. Numbers with the Hawks. Chance for Reese. Can he gather it? Brown Now Crow, what a first half he played, he was fantastic. Great strength there as he got it to Ladson. Taylor, or deft kick, or umpire. Boundary umpire, I think, gave him the benefit of the doubt there.
Yes.
And we'll get a boundary throw in on the wing.
Just want to go back to Trent Crode's game, Michael. He's had 27 possessions, but it's just been his attack on the ball, his leadership down back, and he's really come of age over the last 18 months, Trent Crode.
Career high 27-2, beating his 25 from last week. As Bateman kicks it to Franklin, if you don't mind. One-hander. What to like about this performance today from the Hawks. He drives it long to the top of the goal square in front. Almost the mark to Brown. Couldn't take it. He's found it at ground level, though. Good tackle from Chris Scott. And they work it out now, the Lions. Michael got it to Addard. Oh, clumsy handball. Powell's good enough to take it. Off to Ackermanis. Onto the left boot. He kicks towards Johnson, who's one out in the goal square. Clark's been his master all day. And he handballs across the defensive goal square to Crow, who just props some weights. Hodges going half pace at the moment. Johnson did brilliantly. Threads it out wide. Chance for Corrie. Deep in the pocket. He dribbles it. And well done. Great stuff from Roughhead. He blocked it, ran it behind the goalpost, and then picked it up again. And now it's with Osborne, who delivers to that man, Clark. Deep inside defensive 50, but no hurry for the Hawks here. Chips out wide. Ladson, overlap provided by Lewis, been impressed with his game as well. He chips short. Everett wheels onto the left boot, kicks towards Crawford at half forward, and he marks 60 from goal. There it is. What a performance, and that man must be very proud, Alistair Clarkson. He's watched his side go twice, close very twice in the opening 3 rounds of the AFL season. His first as coach of the Hawks. But what a performance today. That's one of the stars, Shane Crawford. 32 possessions, 26 in the first half when it counted. And, well, rightly so, Steve, they're elated.
They are, and so they should be. They should enjoy every minute of this victory. A team effort right across the board, and they needed to play that way today. They did. They got off to a great start, and I'm sure every Hawthorn fan would be very proud the way they went today.
Let's go down to the ground level. Andy Mars with the captain, Richie Vandenberg.
Thanks very much, Chris. So how does it feel, mate?
Oh, look, it's been a long time coming, but we felt we were on the way over the last couple of weeks, and it's a credit to the boys. We stuck to what we knew, and it paid off today. It's unbelievable.
Just tell us how the feeling's been on the rise the last couple of weeks. Close without getting the 4 points, but feeling like you've made some really giant strides. How does it manifest on a day like this?
The thing was, though, even though we were losing, we were pretty excited about the way we were playing. We just couldn't put 4 quarters together. So I think everyone chipped in today, and that's the thing. It doesn't matter how many young guys we've got in the side. If everyone's sticking to the game plan, I think we show what we can do.
And, mate, it's a huge day for the coach and a huge day for the captain. Your first win as the skipper.
Yeah, first win, it's fantastic, and I just hope to all those members that are watching get on board, because we need you.
Good on you, mate. Fantastic effort.